much. Well, RNC Chairman Michael Whatley joins me now. Mr. Chairman, what message are Democrats sending by bringing former President Obama back into the spotlight?
Well, the only message that they have is that we need to have gerrymandering in Democratic states in order to try and hold on to any semblance of competitiveness when it comes to this election cycle. They're certainly not going to be able to win based on the merits, based on the arguments that are being put in front of the voters. You know, the Democrats, they lost big in 2024 because they were running on an open borders, inflationary spending, weak America agenda. That's exactly what they're running on today. The voters don't want it. So it is not a surprise that they are trying to figure out how to even have an even larger gerrymander in the state of California.
Well, I'm glad you said even larger, because that was, if you want to see a case study of gerrymandering, it's California. Willie Brown, the former speaker there, he was gerrymandering the state decades ago, right?
Yeah, no question about it. And it is rich, you know, that President Obama, coming from Illinois, which is the most gerrymandered state in the country, is pushing on this, as well as New York and other states. Look, the fact is, this campaign, this election cycle, 2026, is going to depend on the environment, and that is going to depend on the economy. It's going to depend on our border. It's going to depend on our standing in the world. President Trump and the Republicans in the Congress and House, in the Senate and House, are working every day to deliver for the voters, and that's what's going to matter in this election cycle.
And you're talking about delivering on specific policies that the president was clear about when he was campaigning. And I look to the Democratic Party, and I'm just trying to figure out what they stand for. What are their policies? You have Mamdani in New York, who is a socialist, who believes in a global intifada, whatever the heck that is. He is gaining popularity in New York City, which is a very liberal Democratic state or city, but I just wonder how that message is going to play to the rest of the country, because it does seem more Democrats are coming on to support Mamdani.
Yeah, well, he is definitely one of the leaders, the new leaders of the Democratic Party, along with Jasmine Crockett, AOC, Bernie Sanders, and others. And their agenda right now is all about inflationary spending, weak borders, you know, a weak America. They are fighting harder for violent, criminal, illegal aliens and putting boys and girls sports than they are for the people of America all across this country.
Well, how do you think that's going to play? The biggest group of voters in this country are independents. That's a group that exceeds by far either Democrats or Republicans. I think it's about 40% now. They are not socialists, are they? I mean, they're not going to appreciate the Democrat message if they go full bore into Mamdani's corner.
Not at all. The Democrats are doubling down on the same failed agenda that they lost with in 2024. And as long as Republicans are going to continue to listen to the American voters, understand the issues that they think are very important, and put solutions on the table, then Republicans are going to continue to win as the common sense party that President Trump led in the 2024 elections.
Well, we're usually talking about other candidates and so forth, but I want to talk about you for a second, sir, because you're going to be running for the Senate in North Carolina. How do you plan on winning that election?
Well, we're going to get out to every single community, every single family across North Carolina, and we're going to talk about the issues that they care about. We're going to make sure that North Carolina has a strong economy. We're going to make sure that we're pushing policies that are going to create jobs, that are going to make sure that we raise wages, that we're going to fight for our farmers, we're going to fight for our manufacturers, and really, truly, we're going to make sure that the men and women of uniform that are based in North Carolina and around the country have what they need to protect our interests and allies around the world.
Well, until recently, my son was one of those North Carolinians who was in uniform. He still works for the military, but as a civilian now. Who are you running against, and what is his or her platform?
Sure. Well, we're running against Roy Cooper, who has bought into the Democratic line. He is a candidate who has been far too left for North Carolina, and he is going to tuck right in with Bernie Sanders and Chuck Schumer in the Senate if he wins. That's not a voice that North Carolina needs. They want a strong, consistent voice, and they want to make sure that President Trump is going to have an ally in the Senate from North Carolina.
Michael Whatley, stay safe on the campaign trail.